Hey gaming fans! So I just picked up this speed duel deck because I was quite interested in this idea of the speed duel, and you know I this stuff came out before I decided to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh. So you know I know very little bit about it. I watched the video online and stuff. Apparently, speed duel is just like playing regular Yu-Gi-Oh, but you get less columns, you draw less cards, you get less life points. Kind of a fast way of playing the game. But the reason why I picked up this one is because I've always been a fan of Pegasus. When I watched the cartoon a long time ago, he was my favorite character. The Toon deck that he used was my favorite deck. Even though it was never a successful deck, you know, when you built them, they were still fun to play around with. In fact, I remember, and I still have, the structure deck Pegasus from, I bought this from on eBay actually, I can't remember how I bought this actually, probably over eBay. But this came from Japan. You can see it's all got Japanese writing and stuff. And this came out before we had it here in North America, before we had the Pegasus Toon deck. So I remember ordering this one, and I started playing against people in my local card shop, and they didn't know what to make of the Toons. So it was kind of funny. And they were like, "Where did you get Toons from?" But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to open this up because it's sealed and all that stuff, and I have no idea what's in here. I mean, it tells you the cards, but I don't know how it's packaged. I don't know what you get. And I'm going to try and open it without just destroying the entire box, but I don't think that's possible. The way they've, yeah, this is damaging it pretty good. They use a lot of glue there. I was able to open up this one fine, but this was different packaging, so I guess they've changed the way they've packaged these things. Maybe just try and stop theft or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the deck here. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so they come in little cardboard deck cases. You play with smaller decks as well, from what I've understood. You know, I've read the rules once on speed dueling, so I didn't really fully, you know, play the game or embrace it or anything like that. I just kind of read it over to see what this whole thing was all about. And it looks like there's the Toon one. That's Pegasus. Looks cool. It's got was that Toon Summon Skull on the front. And we got Ashizu Ishtar, if I said that right. Ashizu Ishtar, Merrick's sister. I believe she's playing a Gravekeeper deck. Yeah, she's playing a Gravekeeper deck, which is interesting. Looks like we got a pack of cards as well. This is kind of cool. Shard of Greed. I do have that card, Shard of Greed. I used to play this one actually. It's kind of like a pot of greed that you set it on the, or you play it to the field, and in 2 turns it becomes pot of greed. Essentially, you draw 2 cards. Let's see what else is in here. I don't know if this is random. I didn't read the back of the thing to see what I was supposed to get in this, so I just read the card list quickly, just to see what the decks look like. I mean, most of these cards, I probably have every single one of them, but... Oh, okay, so we got Shard of Greed is the first one, and it's nice and shiny. It looks like those super rares that we used to get. The Golden Apples, I remember this card. And Mimicat, which is like a Toon card. The other thing that's cool about these, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, my lighting is a little bit off here. But right there, you can see it's kind of watermarked with Speed Duel. And I remember seeing that on the when I was looking online at these cards, and it said any cards with that watermarked Speed Duel you're allowed to use in this format. Because you're not supposed to use your regular Yu-Gi-Oh cards unless it's a reprinted card from the Speed Duel set. So let's see how I open this thing up. And it tells you the list on the back. This is Yugi's deck with the Dark Magician. I don't know how this opens. Oh, okay. So you got to peel it. That kind of sucks. They make you peel it like that. I thought it would be like a little box, but I guess, you know, they're saving money on card, you know, packaging and stuff. Ah, so these are the. I'm gonna put that down. These are the cards that are different. With Speed Duel. They have different backs. So when you use your character, from what I've read and from what I remember reading, you pick one of these cards to represent yourself. You're supposed to be the the character, so you're Yugi. And each of these has a powerful effect on it that you can activate during the duel. And from what I remember, you start the game face down, so your opponent doesn't know which one of these three you're playing, essentially. So you could surprise your opponent. They all have kind of interesting effects too, from the ones that I've actually read, anyways. Power of the Dark. All Fiend and Spellcaster monsters on the field gain 200 attack and defense. Also, all Fairy monsters on the field lose 200 attack and defense. So these kind of effects. Destiny Draw. That's pretty cool. If you lose 2,000 or more life points, you can activate this skill. Okay, so they're called skill cards. During your next draw phase. During your draw phase, you may search your deck for any card, reveal it to your opponent, and add it to your hand instead of drawing it. If you do that, flip this card over. So that's actually pretty good. Just searches your deck for any card. Anyways, let's get on to the actual deck that it gives you. So it's Yugi's deck, so naturally you're getting Dark Magician, Feral Imp, okay, Rogue Doll. You actually get 2 Rogue Dolls. Dark Magician Girl. Now a lot of these you have to like tribute. Legion of the Fiend Jester. I don't think I have this card. This doesn't look familiar to me, so I have no idea what that is, but I'll look into that. You get 2 of them. The Stern Mystic. Mystic. Double Coston. It's just a monster that allows you to tribute him as 2 tributes. So getting your Dark Magician out, essentially. And this is Blue Dragon Summoner. And cards that he's used in the cartoon, like Thousand Knives, which if you control Dark Magician, target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Sage's Stone. I remember when this card came out. This was awesome when it first came out. If you control Dark Magician Girl, special summon 1 Dark Magician from your hand or deck. Pretty powerful. Dark Magic Attack, not bad. Ryoku. A lot of these cards require Dark Magician on the field, so I don't know how that would work. Tribute Doll. This is neat. You know, it was one of the first cards to allow you to use, like, you know, a spell card to tribute a monster. Wonder Wand. I talked about this card in my last video with the Exodia. Using Wonder Wand on Witch of the Black Forest to draw 2 cards. Pretty cool card. I really like that one. Life Force Sword. Speaking of Exodia, I remember Yugi using this in the cartoon to beat the Rare Hunter, because he took the Exodia card out of his hand, which slowed him down. Magician's Circle. This was a cool card when it came out. I remember a lot of people were using it. And we got some negation. We got Magic Jammer and 7 Tools of the Bandit. So these are all old classic cards. A lot of these cards would never see the light of day in today's decks because they're just too old or slow or whatever. Let's check the Ishizu's deck now. I'm going to rip this sucker open. Kind of sucks the way they did this. Because I don't know if you could really reuse these things once you've cracked it all open like this. Let's see, we got Ishizu's got her skill cards. So you got Ishizu on the back there. And then her skills. Let's see, Millennium Necklace. At the start of your opponent's turn, before they draw, you may look at the top 3 cards of their deck, rearrange them in any order. This skill card can only be used once per duel. Okay, I guess it can mess around with your opponent. Go into the Gravekeeper. So we got the Gravekeeper's Curse. I don't think I really ever use this guy. You just kind of like, you summon him and he does 500 damage to your opponent. Gravekeeper's Spear Soldier. I remember using him. He's a good piercer, especially back in the day when people used cards like Scapegoats to try and save their lives. This would just like run through them. So you get 2 Spear Soldiers. Gravekeeper's Vessel. Any effect damage this card inflicts to your opponent is treated as effect damage. Any battle damage this card does to your opponent is treated as effect damage. I don't know why they created that or what the heck the point of that is, but whatever. Gravekeeper's Chief. He was their tribute guy, and then he would summon one from the deck. The Cannon Holder. Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder, which is kind of like the Cannon Soldier of the deck, but you have to tribute Gravekeepers, which is not that great. I guess in a full deck of Gravekeepers, but you can't use Scapegoats. Gravekeeper's Assailant. All these are pretty standard Gravekeeper cards, so you get 2 of those. Gravekeeper's Priestess. I remember when that came out too. Probably one of the better ones. Recruiter. This guy would search, and most of the Gravekeepers would add them to your hand. The Shaman. She's alright. It's 1500 though. And you have to tribute summon, but there's tricks to get her into the field. The Gravekeeper's Oracle. Yeah, he's okay. And Cataville Omen. Basically, if you have Necro Valley on the field, which is what Gravekeepers use for their field spell, you can add a trap to your hand. If you don't have Necro Valley, it goes to the top of your deck. So either way, it searches out a trap when it flips over. Gravekeeper's Steli. I don't know how to pronounce it. Just simple card, adds 2 Gravekeepers from your graveyard to your hand. This effect cannot be negated by Necro Valley, because Necro Valley stops things from targeting the graveyard. So it's good that they added that piece of text, or you wouldn't be able to use it. Hidden Temples in the Necro Valley. Card that requires Necro Valley on the field. What does this do? Activate only if both Gravekeeper's monster and Necro Valley are on the field. Neither player can special summon monsters except Gravekeeper monsters. If either Gravekeeper's monster or Necro Valley is not on the field, destroy this card. So it's a very sensitive card. Probably won't stick around very long. Sebek's Blessing. It's alright. Just if your monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, gain the same amount of life points. So that's probably good in this game. The speed game anyway. Blast held by a tribute. This card, I don't think I've ever used this card. When an opponent's monster that was tribute summoned declares an attack, destroy as many face-up attack position monsters they control as possible, and then inflict 1,000 damage. I can see that being okay in this format, but any other format that's just slow. Rite of Spirit, which is like their Call of the Haunted, summons it to the field from the graveyard, and I don't know why, but the Eye of Truth. So let's see what's going on in Pegasus Deck. Nice breaking open the seal. I think his skill cards were the best. I don't know. He had some pretty good ones. I remember reading them. Get that open. It's a Toon World. I love that. This card is treated as Toon World. So basically your skill card, Pegasus skill card, you start the game with Toon World. And you never have to worry about not having Toon World. Pretty cool. So let's check out the Pegasus deck. So Rogue Doll. Again, I don't know what's up with this Rogue Doll. Toon Alligator, which is kind of goofy. It's like a normal monster, but it's supposed to be a toon, but it doesn't do anything. You get 2 of them. I guess because he played them in the cartoon. Same with this piece of crap. Parrot Dragon. I think there was a use for this card at one point because it's a level 5 dragon. I remember a long time ago there was a use for it, but not really. I mean, Dark Rabbit. This card looks like a toon, but it's not a toon. So, and I remember Pegasus used him. I think he used him for certain reasons, but Toon Mass Sorcerer. This guy's pretty cool. If he attacks directly, you draw a card. And the thing about toon monsters, in case you don't know toon monsters, is as long as Toon World's out and your opponent doesn't have a toon, these guys attack directly. The only downside to most of these is they need Toon World on the field, which is great for that skill card over there. And they don't attack the turn they come into play. So they kind of have, like, with Magic the Gathering, you know, summoning sickness. So you get 2 of those guys. Toon Mermaid, which some people argue is one of the better ones, and some people hate it. It's just it's a free special summon, essentially, as long as you have Toon World. But she has all the other problems that the rest of the Toon deck has. Toon Summon Skull. Nah. Just a little bit beefier. And, of course, Relinquished. He used that in the cartoon as well. Relinquished is a fun card. I've built decks around Relinquished, and I still see people playing it today. Black Illusion Ritual. You need that to pull out Relinquished. 1 Toon Table of Contents. I guess they figured if you had 3 in this deck, you would go through your deck really fast, because you have a smaller deck. And that pretty much just adds any Toon card to your hand. Probably one of the best cards in the game. Toon Rollback. Target a Toon monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase. So that's kind of neat. I mean, allows your monster to attack twice. That can like game your opponent. Toon World, in case you're not playing that skill card that says it's a Toon World. So you get 2 Toon Worlds. Really nothing to this card. You just pay 1,000 life points and activate it. Anybody that plays a real Toon deck in today's format would use Toon Kingdom, which is much better. Yami, just a basic field card. I remember all the basic field cards from Legends of Blue Eyes pretty much just boosted a monster by 200 attack, a certain type of monster. Sword of the Deep-Seated. The equipped monster gains 500 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard, place it on top of your deck. Not bad. I mean, if you're going to mill yourself, you're going to lose the game because you have no cards in your deck. You can save yourself. Toon Defense. It's okay. When an opponent's monster declares an attack targeting a level 4 or lower Toon monster, you can make the attack direct instead. So it's making it more like they are in the cartoon. Because in the cartoon, the Toons that Pegasus has, the opponent can't attack them as long as Toon World's out on the field. They didn't include that effect in the real Toons, so that card will let you do that. And Jar of Greed, simply just draw a card. Actually, I think that card was in the that structure deck, the Japanese one. And Wild Tornado. This is an okay card. I remember always trying to pull this effect off. Essentially, it just destroys the spell or trap on the field. But if it gets destroyed while it's face down from your opponent, you get to destroy 1 card they control. I always like that idea, because then you can set it and then not worry if they have MST and blow it away. Anyways, yeah, this is pretty fun. I mean, it's basic. It's very basic. You're not going to get much out of the speed duel. I think it just seems like it would be something fun to just do to kill a little bit of time. Just play a speed deck. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.